Gurubhyo Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste, friends. A warm welcome from Team Param Vedanta to session 6 of our Enlightening Mananam series. In our last session, Dr. Hegde sir helped us understand verses 15 to 19 of the Kathopanishad, chapter 1, Valli 2, where Lord Yama continued guiding Nachiketas towards the highest spiritual truth. Yama introduced Omkara or Om as the sacred symbol of Brahman, showing that Omkara Upasana, that is meditation on Om, can lead a seeker either to Jivan Mukti, that is liberation while living, or Krama Mukti, gradual liberation upon reaching Brahmaloka. We also learned that Ātma, the self, is eternal, unborn, indestructible, and untouched by karma. It is the silent witness of all experiences. However, realizing this truth requires a quiet, desire-free mind leading to ultimate freedom. In today's session, our Sir will guide us through the verses 20 to 25, continuing the profound teachings of Atma Vidya, the highest knowledge of the self. Following this, we will have a teaching quiz led by Dr. Anupama ma'am, designed to strengthen our understanding and clarify any doubts. So now, without further delay, I invite Dr. Timappa Hegde sir to lead us into today's exploration. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mamta. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Pariyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Vrityave Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nachiketa Secha. Continuing our series of Mananam. So Mananam is a process where we study the scriptures in such a way that whatever knowledge that we have got from Shravanam is now doubt-free. That knowledge becomes a Dhrida Nischaya. It becomes a matter of conviction. From the way we have seen the verses in the second Valli, and I realize the great importance of this particular chapter, we thought we will not only look into this from an aspect of Mananam, but also look at Nididhyasana. In the next class, I will speak what we mean by resonance. Whenever we study a mantra, and if that mantra begins to resonate with you, then that is the objective. Those are those mantras which you identify are those mantras which can give us a deeper significance. So we will not only look at Kathopanishad from an angle of Mananam, we will look at it from an angle of Nididhyasana. To briefly recap where we are so far, we are studying this great Upanishad, Kathopanishad. It is said even if one Upanishad is studied completely, properly, that itself can give the desired transformation that Brahma Vidya can give. The unique thing of Kathopanishad is normally we see Yamadharmaraja as the cause of death. But in the course of this study, we will see that what we normally considered as the cause of death can be the cause of immortality. There is a change in the way we see death, the change in the way we see Yamadharmaraja, because he is now a Brahma Vidya Acharya, and a Brahma Vidya Acharya is one for whom we have the highest respects. There is one Shanti Pata we always chant, Om Sahana Vavatu. And in our earlier classes, we saw the more cryptic meaning of the word Sahana Vavatu. May we be protected. But once Brahma Vidya comes, we have a deeper understanding that I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am Ātma Brahma. This very knowledge itself is so protecting, because now I know that I don't need protection. Because as Atma, I cannot be affected by anything. Anything that happens to the body, to the mind, or to the world around me cannot affect me. And if this knowledge now becomes a conviction, it can become a nischaya, a drida nischaya. It can be my understanding. Then the greatest understanding of this mantra, Sahana Vavatu, means let me be in that state when I don't seek protection at all, because nothing can go wrong with me. Also, we have a great reverence for Nachiketa. Nachiketa is the gold standard for a student of Vedanta, one who has Tivra Mukshutvam. And later in some of these Valdis that come in the next class, we will see this is the most important quality, the ability that I want it and nothing else. And then in the Guru and in my scriptures, if I have Shraddha, that means I have gospel truth. Whatever is said is true. And for this, I'm ready to give everything. That means I have that mental toughness, not only mental toughness, physical toughness. I have the ability to wait, the ability to fast. Nachiketa did not know how long he had to wait. Fortunately for him, it was only 3 days and 3 nights, but he was ready to wait for eternity. That is what is called titiksha. Can I have that kind of viveka and vairagya that Nachiketa had? Again, in the earlier stories, one thing that if this study has to be a transformation, we heard that beautiful story of that bird, and that bird, once it got freedom, it gave a message sitting on top. It said, if you want true freedom, you must die before you die. That means I must die as the ego. The body-mind identification must go before I die. And that is all our sadhana. Again, throughout the study of Kathopanishad, we need to look at what is Nachiketa's third boon. Yeyam prite vichikitsa manushye. I have a doubt. I mean, it is a universal doubt. Astiti eke nayam asti chaike. Now, when a person dies, is there something that survives the death of the individual? Can I know that? This is my third boon. So what is that which survives death? So this is the background question. When Nachiketa asked this question, Yamadharmaraja, when the first boon was asked for his father, he said yes. When the second boon for the loka, so that they can attain to the swarga or the higher lokas, he, without asking twice, Yamadharmaraja said yes. But when it came to the third question, he being the Lord of Death, what is that which survives death? Because this is a very subtle point. He wanted to know whether Nachiketa had the required qualification, because the way he was asking, it was clear he was asking for Brahma Vidya. He was asking for Shreyas. Normally, all of us prefer the pleasant path of prayers. So, Yamadharmaraja, after putting Nachiketa into a rigorous test, and after he passed all that, he praised the student, he praised the teaching, he praised the teacher. Then he began this worldly by talking about two paths all of us have all the time. The path of Shreyas, which leads us to moksha, or the highest goal, or the path of prayers, which we normally spend all our time into yoga kshema. What is Yoga Kshema? Now, most of our waking time is spent in acquisition for things that I do not have and maintaining that which I have. Acquisition of things that I do not have, in Sanskrit here it's called yoga. Maintaining that is called kshema. What we learn from Kathopanishad is, can we give less importance to yoga kshema? Human life is so precious. We have Manushyattvam, we have Mumukshutvam, we have Mahapurusha. And therefore, can I spend more time and give less and less time and whatever available time that I can spend on Shreyas? Now, another mantra which came in the second Valli, number 7, which says, Shravanayapi Bahubir Yona Labhyaha. Very important mantra which refers to all of us. Now, these are mantras which can resonate with us. Extremely difficult for most people in the world. Extremely few people in the world have a chance even to listen to one of the Veda mantras. Now, we not only have a chance to listen, we are able to get the deeper meaning, we are able to study it. How fortunate we are. This Upanishad is talking about those lucky people who have this opportunity. And so this Upanishad is talking about us. If you have to learn these Veda mantra, you should get what Yamadharmaraja says, Ananya Prokta. What is Ananya Prokta? We spent a long time understanding the word Ananya. And this word Ananya comes in the Bhagavad Gita in the 9th chapter. Ananyas chintayanto ma ye jana paryupasate. Ananya. That means no other. That there is only one. That means although there is two, there is Bhagwan and Bhakta, the Bhakta now sees the Bhagwan as himself, as not apart from himself. The teacher now should be an Ananya Prokta. That means what he is teaching is non-dual. That means he and Brahman are not two. Although they are two, they are not two. So this is the distinction or the great meaning of the word Ananya. And if there is a mantra that resonates, this mantra has to resonate. I need to be able to understand Ananya. That means in love and in bhakti, there are no two. Between Bhagwan and the Bhakta, there is one. And when there is such a relationship between Shri Krishna and us, then he will tell you, Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam, for such a person, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Your Yogakshema, your requirements, I will take care. And therefore, do whatever you have to do, skinch and get more and more time for Brahma Vidya. In the last class, we spoke about this mantra. Now, this is the words of Nachiketa. Nachiketa interrupts Yamadharmaraja's praise and then he reframes his question. Anyatra dharma, anyatra adharmat. O Bhagwan, can you tell me something beyond dharma and adharma? So dharma and adharma comes still in the relative world. So whenever you do any actions which is in accordance with the scriptures, it is dharma. Whenever you do actions which is not in accord with scriptures, it is adharma. So anyatra asmat krita akrita. Krita means akrita means cause, krita means the effect. Everything in this world that we see and experience, including our body and the world we have, is krita akrita. That means what I'm seeing now is an effect, but my past actions was the cause. Because of my past karmas, and that was the cause, this is the effect that I'm reaping. So what he's trying to say is, I want to know something beyond cause and effect. Anyatra bhutascha bhavyascha, something beyond time. So the entire Kathopanishad, so very nicely framed. So if you look into each word, this particular question by Nachiketa is an Ātma definition. For example, look at this word, anyatra asmat krita akrita. Now, what is the cause? What is the effect? Now, all of us have got three bodies. We have the gross body, we have the subtle body, and the causal body. What do you mean by the causal body? My causal body is the cause of my gross and subtle body. And so when Nachiketa is asking anya asmat krita akrita. That means, can you tell me something beyond cause and effect? He says, I don't want to know about the gross body. I do not want to know about the subtle body. I don't want to know about the causal body. I want to know something beyond all the three bodies. Can you tell me that? So now we will look at the answers. Now, this is the most critical portion. From now, our attention needs to be very alert because Yamadharmaraja has come to the answer. Let us see, the question has been asked. Let us see how he answers. You will remember in Mundakopanishad, there is a very brilliant question asked by the student. The student asked Bhagwan, what is that knowing which everything is known? Everything worth knowing is known. So in Mundaka, that is a question, and the whole Upanishad is an answer to that question. And you will also remember how the teacher, Shaunaka, comes to Angiras and asks this question. And Angiras says, all knowledge is of two types. One is apara. All the worldly knowledge is apara. Then there is something called para. And I will tell you what is para. That para is about Brahman, about our true nature. And let us see how Yamadharmaraja is answering this question in the 15th mantra. In response to this question, Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat krita krita, anyatra bhutascha bhavyascha, yattat paschasi tadvada. Look at him asking this question. I don't want you to give me a general answer. I want you to see what you know, tad paschasi, what you can see directly, what is aparokshataya, what is very intrinsic to you. I want to know that. And so comes the very brilliant answer worth remembering. Sarve Veda Yat Padam Amananti Tapamsi Sarvani Cha Yad Vadanti Yad Icchanti Brahmacharyam Charanti Tattet Padam Sangrahena Bravim Om Yetad. So he says, I will explain word by word this meaning. But you will see in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Now, so many verses from Kathopanishad have come from the Bhagavad Gita. And in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, you have this mantra number 11, which is almost identical. The words are a little different. Yad aksharam Veda vido vadanti, vishanti yad yato vitaragaha, yad icchanti brahmacharyam charanti, tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. So I'm going to tell you that. He doesn't mention the word Om because it does not fit into the meter. Now, what is this Om? So essentially, Yamadharmaraja is answering this question. I will tell you in brief what is that which answers, and that is Omkara. And Omkara, again, it comes in the Bhagavad Gita. Om iti eka aksharam brahma, vyavaran mam anusmaran. Now, if you reflect on this, yaha prayati tyajan deham. That means at the time of the releasing of the body, if you meditate on Omkara, Sayati paramam gatim. You will be able to reach the highest goal ever. That is why even in the Bhagavad Gita, again and again, you will see the importance of Omkara. So for the next few words, because Yamadharmaraja, in reply to Nachiketa's question, he says, in reply to your question, he gives a single word answer, and that word is Om. Fortunately, for those of us who have studied other Upanishads, we have seen this in the Taittiriya Upanishad. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is one verse which says, Yes Chandasam Rishabho Vishwarupaha Chandobhyo Asmart Sambhabhuva which says Brahmaji has churned the essential of all the Vedas and he's taken the essence of all, and that is the Pranava mantra or Omkara. We have also studied in the Mandukya. In the Mandukya, we have both an analysis of Om as well as Atma, where it says Omkara and Atma are one and the same. Omkara and Atma can be both Saguna and Nirguna. And the Saguna can be divided into A, U, Ma, which represents a waking dream, deep sleep, represented by Vishwa, Virat, Taijasa, Hiranyagarbha, Prajna, Ishvara. You experience that silence which sustains everything else. And that silence which is normally blocked by our waking and dream experiences, that which we call Samanya Jnanam. There is one kind of awareness which is in and through all our experiences. And that is what is called Turiya. And in that Turiya, I have waking experiences, I have the dream experiences, and so on. So, what is this Omkara? In the Mandukya, the Omkara is explained as everything. Om is everything. What do you mean by Om? The mantra goes like this. Om iti yetad aksharam idagam sarvam tasyo upavyakyanam. The teacher, the Upanishads, I'm going to explain to you what is this Omkara. Bhutam bhavid bhavishya iti sarvam Omkara eva. Everything that is past, present, or future is Om. Not only that, yet cha anyat trikala atitam tadapi Omkara eva. Now, there are many things which are beyond the realm of time. So, everything within time. So, that means everything in this old universe and everything beyond that also is Omkar. Let us go for word meaning. Let us words, because each of these mantras are worth remembering. Sangrahena bravimi. The word sangrahena means briefly bravimi. I shall explain to you. Te, to you. Tat padam, that goal. Yat padam, which has been described in all the Vedas. Sarve Vedaha. When you say Vedaha, the Vedas are generally divided into Veda Purva and Veda Anta. So Sarve Veda, all the Vedas, including the Veda Purva and the Veda Anta, Amananti, they propound. Yet, what do they propound? Vadanti, they prescribe. What do they prescribe? Various forms of austerities. Sarvani tapamsi, all forms of austerities. And for those who wish to pursue this, cha ichanti yat, those who want that, they have to become a student once again. Charanti brahmacharya. That means you become a student once again. Now, all of us at our age, later in life, have become students once again. That is why Swamiji says, when we come into the study of Vedanta, which is Jnana Yoga, many of our family members will be seeing ourselves at this age of our life with books and notebooks and making notes and so on. So it is a second student life once again, because Jnana Yoga is about an intense study period. And it is not an ordinary study period. It is like a person who's pursuing a PhD, and this has to be done day in and day out. Yetad, what is this that we are going to study? It is about Om. If there is something that I can tell you very briefly, we will say everything that you need to say, if I can tell you in one word, and that word is Om, because it includes the manifest, which we call as Saguna Brahma, and the unmanifest, which is called Nirguna Brahma. Now, we have many parts. Remember, the whole of Kathopanishad, we talk of two paths, essentially two paths. One path is Yogakshema. That is the path of the pleasant path of prayers, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and the other is the path of Shreya. So too, whenever we meditate on Omkara, the question is, am I meditating Sakama or am I meditating Nishkama? If I meditate sa kama. That means I want to go for higher lokas, and I do all the prescribed forms of meditation. We know through the Nachiketa Agni, that is through various forms of meditations and karma, I can reach the highest goal of Brahmaloka. But however, if I take the Nishkama path, then I'll reach Brahmaloka, and there I have a chance to get what is called Krama Mukti. However, if I choose the path of jnanam, that means I'm not get jivan mukti right here. So what are the various paths? So the paths are three. One is, am I going through the path of sakama or through the path of nishkama? If I go through the path of sakama, and through all these, I can get the relative world that is Brahmaloka. But if I go through the path of nishkama, if I don't have I will go path of Krama Mukti. But if I get a teacher and if I'm able to get Jnanam, here and now I will be able to get Mukti, that is called Jivan Mukti. For all of us, the aim is we do not know our status at the time of death and so on. So let us work for so we go through Veda Purva and Vedanta, and then you remember what is this Pariksha Lokan. So the Vedas give us all forms of fulfillment. Dharma, Artha, Kama is possible. But we learn from our own experience that whatever we have got through Dharma, Artha, and Kama is not really fulfilling. And after some times, we learn that we have to come to the path of Shreyas. This is a great jump. Parikshalokan, Karmachitan, Brahmana. And realizing that I need a guru and I have to come through the path of Jnana Yoga. Yad ichanto brahmacharyam charanti. Although we are in the later stages of, we can call ourselves as vanaprasthas or mental sannyasis. Now, in this stage, we are now pursuing Brahman through Jnana Yoga. This is not an ordinary study. I have compared it to a PhD kind of study. How do we do it? It is day in and day out. We have to skinch as much time from Yoga Kshema. And remember, after some time, our Yoga Kshema will be taken care of by Shri Krishna. Remember, Ananyas Chintayanto Ma Ejana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham. The word Vahamyaham means I will carry you, I will take care of you. That is the Shraddha we need to have in the words of Shri Krishna, that he's going to take care of you. Swami Anubhavananda says, a spiritual pursuit is not a part-time profession, but it is a full-time preoccupation. In and through all my activities, sometimes if my activity is involving a lot of emotions because I'm upset, or it is mentally draining or taxing, maybe a part of my life. But the moment I recover from that, I need to be able to say, what am I here primarily for? Am I here to make a name, fame, or am I here for something higher? And let this be the Shruti in our life, that I need to move from the path of pleasant path of prayers and to move to the path of Shreyas, and which is a day and night preoccupation. So we may not be sannyasis, but we are vanaprasthas. We have taken to a student life once again. And the benefit derived from Vedanta is proportional to the intensity with which we study. That is why I'm going through these mantras again very slowly, because let us get the essence of all these mantras. So what did this mantra say? I helped you to discover where this mantra comes in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Yat padam sarve vedaha. This is the Anvaya. Amananti yat amananti sarvani tapamsi vadanti yad ichantaha brahmacharyam charanti tat padam te sangrahena bravimi etad om iti. So this is mantra number 15. where Yamadharmaraja says, in answer to your question, if I have to briefly give you one answer, this is the essence of all the Vedas, and for which people do a lot of austerities for. And it can be put in one word. Now, he also says, and that is what Swami Paramarthananda ji says, Brahma Vidya is so rarefied. So before we go to it, can we spend some time or along with whatever we do and upasana on Omkara, meditate on Omkara and Omkara Jnanam. Just meditating on Omkara will give you certain eligibility. And so he gives two more mantras to elaborate on Omkara. Mantra number 16. Etad eva aksharam Brahma. This is apara Brahma. Etad eva aksharam param. So Brahman can be apara Brahma or saguna Brahma or nirguna Brahma. Etad eva aksharam jnatva. The word jnatva should be taken as jnatva. That means those who meditate on this mantra, yad ichati tasyatat. See the beauty? Whatever you want, you will get it. Whatever you want is what? All the good things in the world, if you want. That means the best in the relative world is Hiranyagarbha or Brahmaloka. You can get that. You can get Krama Mukti. You can get Jivan Mukti. So all the three options are available. Should I go through each verse? Etad Aksharam Eva. This indeed is the lower Brahman. This indeed is the higher Brahman, Jnatva. After meditating on this, whatever you desire, you will be able to get it. So this is the glory of Omkara, because Omkara includes Saguna as well as Nirguna, and it can give you three types of benefits. One is Brahma Loka, Krama Mukti, or Jivan Mukti. I have answered that. All right. If you have to go through the Anvaya, that means the same mantra in prose form. Etad aksharam hi eva aparam brahma. Etad aksharam hi eva param brahma. Etad aksharam hi eva jnatva. Yaha yat ichati tasya tat. That means that is the power of meditating on Omkara. Whatever you want will be fulfilled. Therefore, we need to have a guide, because when you are given such a powerful tool, you can ask for whatever you want. Why should I ask for something relative when I can get the highest possible? And that highest possible is what is called Jivan Mukti, to get total fulfillment even as I am. And even in today's class, we will touch on one mantra which can give you Jivan Mukti. What is this mantra? Of course, where I've looked into it, so Prabhasmi, all Vinata is Pranavaha. We go to the next mantra. Etad alambanam sreshtam. Alambanam means the support, the adhara. That means if you want to get something higher, you need to step on something. You need a base. Etad alambanam sreshtam. Etad alambanam param. This is the highest. Etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloko mahiyate. Such a person is adored, is worshipped in Brahmaloka. Word for word meaning is Etad, this. Sreshtam alambanam. Alambanam can be taken as a pratika, a symbol. Etad alam, it can also be taken as a adhara, support. Etad alambanam param. Etad alambanam jnatva. Having meditated on this alambanam, mahiyate, such a person becomes adorable even in Brahmaloka. So Omkara is considered the best symbol, the best adhara for all forms of meditation. Now, alambanam can be of two types. One is called pratima or a pratika. Pratika is symbolic, like a Shiva Linga for Lord Shiva. saligrama for Lord Vishnu, a lump of turmeric for Lord Ganesha, a flame for Devi, and so on. So to Omkara is a pratika alambanam. Pratima has got human forms. Like when you see a picture, a symbol, a statue of Rama, Krishna, Ganesha, that is called Pratima. Whereas Pratika is symbolic. Pratima has got human forms. By meditating on Omkara, one attains Brahmaloka. This is the highest possible that can be attained. So what is the Anvaya like? Etad sreshtam alambanam, etad param alambanam, etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloko mahiyate. We'll come to the last mantra of today. The most important mantra, again, you will see this in the Bhagavad Gita also. And this mantra we need to meditate on. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit Nayam kutaschinna bahu va kaschit ajo nityaha sashvatoyam puranaha na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Now this is a mantra for resonance, a mantra for understanding, and a mantra to be able to meditate on. This mantra alone, if meditated on, can give us both jnanam and jnananishta. So you have an equivalent in the second chapter, verse number 20 in the Bhagavad Gita, where there is a slight difference. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha ajo nityaha sashvato yam puranaha na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Now, what is the meaning of the word vipaschit? Vipaschit really means of an intelligent one. But here Adi Shankara says vipaschit should be taken as consciousness. Na jayate. That means it does not come into being. It is not born. Na mriyate va. Nor does it die. Na babhuva. It does not originate kutaschit from anything. Na kaschit. Na does it become anything. So it does not originate from something. Remember, so he said, akrit kritena. What, I want something which is neither the cause nor the effect. So ajam, that is birthless, nityaha, deathless, sashvata, and that does not undergo decay, puranaha, there is no growth, na hanyate, it is not afflicted, it does not die, and the body dies. Now, what is this talking about? Remember, we are talking about vipaschit. So I will just touch on these words. I am vipaschit. So this mantra is talking about consciousness. So what is my true nature? In reply to Nachiketa's question, he says, our true nature is the nature of consciousness. And what is the type of consciousness? Na jayate na mriyate. It is neither born nor it undergoes death, nor it undergoes any of the 6 modifications. That means it does not undergo any change. That which does not undergo any change, what is there all the time, that is what is called Sat. So he's talking about Sat and Chit. And that which is there from the beginning and which is not affected by time, which is not affected by the death of the body. We are talking about something eternal and that which is unlimited. So this mantra is talking about something. Vipaschit is Chit, which does not undergo any change, is Sat, and which is eternal, which is Sashvata, and therefore it is of the nature of Sat Chit Ananda. So Swamiji spends a lot of time trying to help us to understand what is this consciousness. I have this body, but I'm not just this body, I am. That means I am existent and I am conscious. This consciousness is not part of my body. It is not a property of my body. It is not a product of my body. It is an independent entity which enlivens this body and makes this body conscious. And in case this body drops, it is not limited to the boundaries of the body. It is all pervading. Now, for some reason, the body drops, consciousness continues to exist. It is not affected at all in any way, but it cannot manifest for want of a medium. This is what Swamiji helps us to understand. That is this consciousness, what Yamadharmaraja is talking about, our true nature. Just like you see my hand and you can see light upon the hand. The light on my hand is not part of my hand. It's not a property of my hand. It is not a product of my hand. It is an independent entity. So too that consciousness in all of us, because of which we are able to listen, that consciousness that we are going to talk about, it is not a product. It does not transform into anything. It is not a karyam. It is not a karanam. So we've got few points about consciousness. So this is what Nachiketa, I want something which is beyond cause and effect. And so what is it? It is Chaitanyam or Ātma Swarupam. There is another point which we need to remember, which Swamiji tells us as 5 capsules to remember. Now this mantra, Na Jayate Mriyate Va, is talking about our true nature. I am of the nature of eternal and all-pervading consciousness. This consciousness on me, because it is Sat, Chit and Ananda, it is the only source of permanent peace, security and happiness. By my presence, I enliven this body and I give existence to the whole world. I am not affected by anything that happens to this body or to the world around me. Whenever I forget this, I land into samsara. By remembering this, I become a Jivan Mukta. Now that is the power of this mantra. What is the Anvaya? That means if I break it into prose form, what does this mantra say? I am this Vipaschit, this entity which I say I am. Na jayate mriyate va. At any time, it is neither born nor it dies. Kutaschit na bahuva. It does not become something or it does not come from something. Kaschit, I am, this one, is ajaha, unborn, nityaha, it is always there, sashvata, does not undergo any change, puranaha, it has been there from the very beginning, if there is a beginning. Shariram hanyamane, when this body drops, this vipaschit, this consciousness is not affected by all that. Now, if we have understood these few mantras, we are ready for a teaching quiz, which I will request Dr. Anupama to help us to conduct. Dr. Anupama, please.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Okay, so based on what we have studied so far, a few questions. In this verse, Nachiketa asks Yamadharmaraja, as we just heard, Na anyatra dharma, na anyatra adharmat. What is it that is beyond dharma and adharma? This is how he addresses his third boon. Anyatra asmat krita akritat, that which is beyond cause and effect. Anyatra bhutascha bhavishyacha, that which is beyond time. Yet tat pashyati tat vadaha. Please tell me that which you have understood aparokshataya. He could not be more clear in asking Yamadharmaraja that he wants Ātma Jnana and not any information about our shariras, Stula, Sukshma and Karana Sharira. What was Yamadharmaraja's answer to this question? Did he say, please ask me for anything other than this? Did he say, Durvigneya ayam Atmaha? This Atma is very difficult to understand, so don't even try. Become a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna before attempting comprehension of Atma Jnana. Did he say Om iti etad, or did he say none of the above?
His answer was Om. It is Om. Om iti.
That's right. So we just learned that various pratika alambanams are used by Saguna Ishvara Upasakas. Please identify them along with the representative devas.
This one, Saligrama represents Vishnu, Shivalinga represents Shiva, turmeric represents Lord Ganesha, and Omkara represents Nirguna Brahman or Saguna Brahman.
That's right. All answered. So Atma, since Brahma Vidya, that's right, everything answered. Let's proceed, please. Since Brahma Vidya is too subtle to be grasped by anyone and everyone, Yama Dharmaraja prescribes a sadhana which would act as an aid to understanding Brahma Vidya. What is the sadhana that he prescribed? Is it Savikalpa Samadhi? Is it Japa Yoga, Saguna Ishvara Upasana, Ashtanga Yoga, Omkara Upasana, or Guru Shastra Upadesha?
It is Omkara Upasana.
That's right. So in Omkara Upasana, Omkara is pratika for Saguna Ishvara, Nirguna Ishvara, Karana Brahman, Karya Brahman, Hiranya Garbha, Virat, or all of the above.
Should be all of the above.
Based upon the type of adhikari. Okay. Next question. So both Omkara and Brahman have 4 components. How are they equated?
Would go for Virat, U for Hiranyagarbha, Ma for Ishvara, and Amatra for Brahman.
That's right. So the A, U, Ma are the variable Vachyartha components, but the Lakshyartha of Omkara is not Shabda Om, but the silence that follows Turiya, Amatra, Nirguna Brahma. Okay. So in this verse, Yamadharmaraja is trying to glorify Omkara. He says, Etad eva aksharam brahma. Etad eva aksharam param. Etad eva aksharam jnatva yaha yad ichchati tasya tat. So in this phrase, Etad eva aksharam jnatva. What does he mean by jnatva? Does he mean jnana yoga, mahavakya vichara, dhyatva, that means upasana kritva, nirvikalpaka samadhi, or know everything about Brahman?
Here it means Jnatva means to meditate. Upasana Kritva.
It means dhyatva. Okay. Next one, please. So here again, when he said, Yaha yad ichchati tasya tad bhavati. So, in the case of a Sakama Upasaka, by doing Hiranyagarbha Upasana, he may get Ashta Mahasiddhis. What are these Siddhis? And as Vyavaharika Jivas, should we aspire for these?
It is said that if we go along the spiritual path, we will possibly get various siddhis. And they are very attractive and they can take you away from the spiritual path. And they are considered as anima, becoming small, mahima, becoming very big. And if you know the story of Hanuman, Hanuman had all these qualities. To be very light, to be very heavy, to mentally visualize wherever you want to go through, to have overlordship of all the world. So Swamiji has given a deeper significance. If you can elaborate on that, please.
Yes. So we know the Ashta Mahasiddhis as you just described. We could utilize these siddhis in the Lakshyartha. It's not the literal way, but we could apply it to our daily lives to improve us as better human beings. Anima means to shrink to the size of an atom. We could understand it as to reduce ego. Mahima means to become gigantic. We could understand it as think and aim big. Garima, become heavy. But for us, it could be immovable, unshakable with respect to values and principles. Laghima means to become weightless. It could mean don't take life too seriously. Prapti means to be able to teleport. But we could mentally be focused to achieve a goal. We could use the teleportation as a mental faculty. And prakamya means achieve any desire. The best way to go about is to honestly express our desires. They would certainly fructify. And ishitva means possess lordship. Vashitva means to control others' minds. We could inspire others and earn their loyalty. Next one, please.
You're able to see?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So here in this verse, again glorifying Omkara, Yamadharmaraja says, Etad alambanam shreshtam, etad alambanam param, etad alambanam jnatva, brahmaloke mahiyate. Omkara upasana phalam, that is brahmalokam, depends upon the type of adhikari. So what is the meaning of brahmaloka for each of these adhikaris? Manda, that means Sakama Upasaka, who's on the prayer marga, a Madhyama Adhikari who's in between Pariksha Loka and Karmachitan types, and an Uttama Adhikari who's on a Shreya marga. Each of them have a different significance of Brahma Loka. Can you please explain?
For a Manda Adhikari, that means a person who wants to get the benefit, that means Sakama, that means you want to fulfill Dharma, Artha, Kama, and so on. Omkara can take you to Brahmaloka, which can give the best, not only in this world, best in all the 14 lokas. So that is the gati of a Manda Adhikari through the same sadhana of Omkara. Whereas for a Madhyama Adhikari, the Madhyama Adhikari is one who is certainly not interested in the path of Preyas, is interested in the path of Shreyas. But unfortunately, such a person does not have a guru or does not have the ability to go through the complete sadhanas. So therefore, is not able to get Jivan Mukti while alive, but continues these various upasanas even at the time of death and is a bhakta. So Bhagwan will now take care of him and offer him what is called Krama Mukti in Brahmaloka. Whereas an Uttama Adhikari, and the whip that Swami Paramarthananda issues to all of us is, when you have this opportunity, when you have Manushutvam, Mumukshutvam, and Mahapurusha, when you have an Ananya Prokta like Swamiji, now let us not waste this human life. Let us be this Uttama Adhikari to be able to work on all these upasanas, Omkara upasanas, to be able to achieve Brahma Vidya here and now.
That's right. I don't think I need to read this. You have answered more than I have written here.
Please tell, you can go through.
For Adhama Adhikari, Brahmaloka is the seventh heaven. This Sakama Upasaka can fulfill all his desires. Whereas for a Madhyama Adhikari, it could mean Nirguna Brahma. So he's a Nishkama Upasaka who gets Krama Mukti, and for him Loka means Chaitanyam in Pratibodha Viditam Matam. For the Brahma Loka, for an Uttama Adhikari who does Mahavakya Vichara through Guru Shastra Upadesha, for him Brahma Loka means Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam, and he gets Jivan Mukti. So, in this verse, Yamadharmaraja says, Najayate mriyate va vipaschit, nayam kutaschin na babuva kaschit. Ajo nitya shashvato ayam puranaha na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So, this is an Ātma Lakshana shloka, and Yamadharmaraja describes Ātma as Shad Vikara Rahitam Ātma. Can you please identify the Shad Vikaras in this verse? At least 5. One has been left out.
Na jayate, that means it is does not come into being. Na mriyate, it does not die. Mriyate va kadasna nayam. Ajaha, ajaha, born. Nityaha, eternal. Sashvataha, does not undergo any change. Puranaha, was there from the very beginning. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Please elaborate.
Yeah. Ajaha. Ajaha means birthless, Nitya deathless, Shashvata is Apakshaya Rahita, decayless. Purana here means growthless, that is Vriddhi Rahita. Na Hanyate means no change. It does not get afflicted in the sense it is Akarta Abhokta. Yamadharmaraja has not mentioned Asti, na asti means it doesn't have the temporary existence as in the womb. So he has mentioned 5. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for taking us through the chapter 1, Valli 2, verses 15 to 18 with such clarity and depth. Our heartfelt thanks to Dr. Anupama ma'am for the engaging and insightful teaching quiz. And a warm thank you to all of you, dear friends, for your participation. Let us meet again on Friday, 22nd August 2025 at 6:45 p.m. for the third session of Panchadashi as we continue our exploration of ancient wisdom. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Thank you.